Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks, and this is the final part of the crochet along, and I've sewed everything together, so this is now going to be how we're going to do the border. So normally I have done in the past a swatch and showed you how to do the border on a swatch, but this time I'm just going to do the whole thing. So this is a new experience for me. It's going to take me a while to film this, I think. There'll be a bit of pausing involved. So I've had a bit of an idea. I sat and played with it for a little while, and I figured that it would be nice, as in between there are quite a big, you've got two sort of sides of the border to make this big stripe, and around the edge there's not. So I thought I would do maybe another row, trying to sort of in keep with the pattern as it is. I've lost the end of my yarn. Where are you? There we go. So that's what I'm going to do for the first part of it anyway. So if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You'll be informed when there are new videos up. And so how I'm going to do it, I'm going to just, as we did with each square, I'm going to have my join at the corner. So I'm just going to bring through a loop, and as I'm going to do a tulle stitch, I'm going to do my first chain with both my tail and my working yarn. Then I'm going to drop my tail and finish off my second, whoops-a-daisy, it's hard to see what I'm doing, finish off my second chain by just going through both of them. And now I'm going to work over this for the first part. So I'm going to do my 2 UK trebles or US doubles over the tail, and then I'll just sew the rest in. So that's the half the corner, just as we did with our squares. So now I'm going to just carry on with the pattern as we did before. So that's just, going into the row beneath, just as we did on the actual squares. And then once we get to our joins, I'm doing something a little different, and I'll show you that in a moment. So we're just going to go in each of our spaces and do exactly what we did before. Sorry, nearly went in the wrong one then. One beneath, it was this one here. I'm looking at it through my phone. It's not quite easy to do that. Seems like it's a long way away. So you just keep going in every one of the spaces, dropping down and popping it. You're making sure you pull up just as you did before. And I need to pull some yarn out. It's quite a large blanket, so it is quite difficult to work with. It keeps wanting to fall off the table. It's a pretty small table, this. So I've done my 3 in that one, and I'm going to do that in this one. And pull it up. So it's just making that little bit wider. I shall only do one row round, only the one round with this stitch, and then I'll go and do a border of possibly about an inch wide. So still going on until we get to the join, and then I'll show you what I'm doing next. Oops. I can't exactly pull it on because my camera's in the way. And it's not exactly the best weather to be covered in a blanket either. So makes you a bit warm working on a blanket in this heat. Sorry, I hope I'm not going off camera. Just trying to look past the camera. Nearly at the first border between the squares, which is where it will get a little bit different. But make sure that you carry on pulling up, otherwise we will have a little trouble with the border. Let's just pull my yarn up. Okay, so now we're at the border between two. So we can't do that because there's nothing to pull up from. So I'm going to do 2 in the space, 1 in the centre, so it will be difficult to try and get through it. Well, actually it was easier than I thought. And then 2 in this space. Need to pull more yarn. That's 1, and there's 2, and then I just carry on as normal in my spaces, and that's just enough, that 5 stitches between, so that you know, instead of having 3 in each, you just got 2 in each and 1 centre one, and then that just gets you over that little hump there quite nicely. So I'm going to do that all the way around and do the corners exactly the same as I have the squares. So, you know, obviously the first one's half a corner and all the others will be a full corner. So I don't think I need to show you any more, unless you want me to show you one more going past the join, which I'll probably do that, and then I'll pause it and go all the way around, and I'll meet up with you back at the start. But this is just, I guess, quite easy really, once you get over those parts where the join is. I've got a little bit of squeaky hook. It's just because it's so hot, but it's holding me back a little bit. It's not running as free as I'd like. I'm looking at this weird angle. I don't want to get hold of the wrong stitch. So that's what it's looking like, and it'll go over that nicely, so it'll keep it nice and flat. Because this was so easy to sew, I find that the joins are nice and flat for the most part. So the next one, just make sure you pull up still, just in keeping the pattern. So I need to pull out a bit more yarn. I'm sorry if you can hear my fans, but I really would not be able to function without a fan on. Very humid here at the moment. It hasn't even been sunny. That's the annoying thing. You think if it's humid, it'd at least be sunny and warm, but it's just warm, humid and overcast. Are we there yet? Nearly. Oh, very nearly. There we go. Sorry, bash the camera. So here we are at the end again. So this is the corner from the square. So we've got the 3, this chain and the 3, and then next to it 3, the 1 chain and the rest of it, the other 3. So I'm going to do 2 in the space, and then I'm going to wriggle my way in to the centre. It's actually going a lot better than I imagined. And then in the next space between that corner, I'm going to do the other 2. And 5 is just perfect. 6 is too many. I tried 6, just too many. So then we just carry on as normal with our pattern and going in to the row beneath that corner. Whoops, sorry. So there we are, and we're just going to keep doing that until we get to the corner of our blanket, and we'll do it exactly the same as this, with in that space 3, 1 chain and 3, and then carry on all the way along that side going into the next corner, and then I will meet up with you when I get back to this half corner here, and I'll show you what we do in the next round. Now I've made it all the way back to the start, so I'm going to just join as we did all the way around with my UK half treble and my US half double. So I'm now in the center, and I'm just going to pull up my loop, and I'm going to do I'm not was toying with the idea of doing half trebles around the border, but I think that might be too big a stitch, so I'm just going to go ahead with the UK double crochet or US single crochet all the way around, and I'm just going to go in every single stitch all the way around and do 1 in each, and that's every single one, including the joins between, and 3 in my corners, and to go around. And I'm just going to do about 3 or 4 rows and see how it looks. I want my border to be about 1 inch in length. I'm sorry, I've got pins and needles in my foot. It's kind of off-putting. Just suddenly happened. Sorry about that. And it's a little off-putting, but I'm trying to sort of pass through it. So just do 1 in every stitch around, 3 in the corners, and I'm going to do about 4 rows should be enough, I think. And I'm not sure if that will be the right amount, so I'm gonna stop at that point and assess it and see if I need to do any more. But I don't think you need me to show you any more. It's quite straightforward, just 1 in every single stitch, and just go along over this, 1 in each, and 3 in the corners. And I shall catch up with you once I've finished my 4th round, and I'll come back to you and see if we need to do any more. I've made it all the way back to the start, and I've done my 4 rows, and so all I need to do now is slip stitch. Whoops, that the first stitch? Hard to see through here. There we go. Slip stitch into the first stitch and end off. Quite a fussy pattern, really. So I always feel like if I have a fussy pattern, I don't need a fussy border. Nice plain one to do. So that's all done, and it's turned out a lot bigger than I imagined, but that's fine. Quite a lot of the time you need a nice big blanket to double over, but all in all, very pleased with the outcome. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.